you doing, everybody? Today we're gonna be going over welcome to the Affiliate Networking Day. This is gonna be part two. Okay, this is gonna be part two, and the reason I'm doing part two is because um, I want to show you how applicable this is. So we're gonna change this to. How do we change this? No, 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 no. There we go. All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to network. Okay, so we're not just going to be trying to sell you a book here. I'm going to show you what this book actually does. Okay, so let's see. How do I rename this? And by the way, how you doing today? There we go. Application day. It's all about the application of it. Right? Always about the application. Okay. So right now, oh darn. Name. Make money. Subtitle is here. No, which one is it? There we go. Affiliate Networking Application Day. I spelled affiliate wrong yesterday. Oh, guys. Okay. So right now, yeah, we're like 45 minutes late, guys. So I'm not even going to talk about that. But I'm looking here, and it actually says, it actually says you have to go on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and look up your hashtag. Okay? You look up your hashtag. And when you look up your hashtag, you'll be able to see what other people are doing. And you can go on SEM Rush. You go on the SEM Rush, you'll be able to look up your hashtag and check out your keyword overview, and you'll see how much volume it is, what the keyword difficulty is, cost per click, everything here, competitive density. These are just words until you know what they actually mean and how they can help you. So one thing I looked at was volume. I want to see how much search volume there is per month. So 110,000 people have searched, or there were 110,000 searches just for this right here. Okay? Keyword difficulty. It's on the harder side, okay? Very hard side. All right? I wanted to find something that was easy. But when I think about it, who cares if it's easy? I want to get into something that's worth getting into. And if it's hard, it's because it's worth getting into. If it was easy, it's probably not worth getting into. Or not a lot of people are searching it. But now I want to find something that's very searchable and also have a low difficulty. So we're going to pick this anyway. All right. And I went here and I found how to make money online. Okay. Then I went over here, scrolled down. After I said how to make money online, because I just typed in make money online. And then the variations popped up, keyword variations. And they were like, I don't know, 7,000 keyword variations. Excuse me, before I even clicked on this. Now, this right here shows me where the top search are coming from. Okay, US News, Entrepreneur.com, SaveTheStudent.org, Nerd Wallet, Oberlo, Forbes. Forbes is on here twice. Okay, Brand X, The Balance, SMB, a small business. Okay, now that we have that, now what? Let's look back in our notes. Okay, did you ever spy on your competition in order to steal? Wait, where was I? I think I messed up. Do you ever spy on your competition in order to see what they're selling, how their sales funnel has been constructed and why they are able to move traffic. We want to move traffic. We don't want to do nothing else but move traffic and get sales, okay? Now, even if you've never analyzed the competition, which we're doing right now, as you can see, just by using a couple of powerful tools, which we have, you'll be able to pinpoint valuable traffic sources, which we just saw, and determine who your strongest competition is, which we see as Entrepreneur, .com, Oberlo, Forbes, India Times. These are our competition, but actually, these are actually news outlets, okay? News outlets. And they're trying to teach people how to make money online. This is our niche, the make money online niche, okay? Everybody's online. Everybody wants to make money. I put the two together, done. I've been thinking about this since 2004. Now, if I've done anything about it, it's different. Is the other is the catch? Okay, look. Best of all, when it comes to affiliate recruitment, this is one of the easiest ways to find joint venture partnerships and influencers who will promote your products. We're looking for influencers, and we're looking for joint venture partnerships. This is two things we're looking for today. We're going to find them. We're going to get them. We're going to talk to them. If we don't get them, we at least talk to them. I already started talking to somebody right here. The Make Money Online Daily _ Earn Money. Okay. I said, how are you doing? My name is Woben Omar Salam. I'm a YouTuber, and I create content to sell to the Make Money Online niche market we both are in. I hope you're doing well today, by the way. I wonder if we can help each other. If you promote my ebooks, I will give you a share of the profit. You would basically be an affiliate and earn a percentage. I'll set it 25% for you. Meanwhile, I'll give you the ebook before to vet. I'm still typing it. To vet. You will always, if you accept my terms, you will always receive. No. If you want to promote my ebooks, you will always receive them for free. I sell them at 15 to 45. What is it? 45? What? How much do we sell them for? Let's see in here. Catalog. Look at our products. We sell them from 15 or regularly. Oh, I sell them from 7 all the way up to $100. Okay. 4 to 100. Yeah. Sell them at $15 to $45 each. But sometimes I sell at $4 and sometimes up to $100. Depends on the product and the day I'm having. Hope to collaborate with you and send you ebooks to vet and market for me soon. It costs you nothing to promote me. You already have a big audience, I see. So I've done my homework and you seem like a really good bet. Seem like a really good candidate to collaborate with. Thank you for your time and consideration. Welben Omar salon content creator, Green Books Publishing. Excuse me. Okay. Now, so now what we have here is an opportunity to get people to buy. Okay? Let's make sure that we spell check. And the only way we can get people to buy is to put it in front of people's eyeballs that are in our niche. Now, the people that follow the people that are in our niche, that have a big audience, they have paid their dues and built up the amount of viewers. This person has, I believe, like, 7,000 followers. Okay, let's just copy this, and I'm gonna paste that in there. Boom. Now I'm talking to him. See, 7,000 followers. Excuse me. Message failed to send. Okay, delete that. Now, why did it fail to send? Let's see. Hit the bell icon. Let's message one time. Hi, my name is Welvin. How are you? Boom, that went through. I'm a YouTuber. We're in the same make money online niche market. I create content for our audience and go live every day online. Wondering if you'd like to collaborate to help each other. I'll give you 25% of anything you promote. Simple. Now, they didn't want me to drop all of the information up there. So we're just going to say Green Books Publishing is the company. It's my company. Google us and let me know. Boom. See how simple that was? So now Twitter allowed us to do that. Okay? So now what we want to do is continue doing stuff like this. But I definitely have to switch up the verbiage, because if I keep sending out stuff that exactly like this, Twitter will be like, hey, you're spamming. I'm not spamming. I'm literally trying to reach out to a few people a day and really acquire affiliate marketers that want to market my products and market my services. Okay? So that's one. Let's see what else we can find up here. I went to Explore. I typed in make money online. The latest. But when I say top, let's go to people. This guy right here. He follows 25 people, but he has 24,800 followers. Passionate marketer navigating the perils and pitfalls encountered in pursuit towards a laptop lifestyle, internet marketing, solopreneur, make money online. Okay? Now, he's been online since, what? Let's see. Does he have an about section or something like that? Well, he has 6,323 tweets. Now let's see if people like his tweets. Okay, his last tweet was 15 people. 15 people liked it. Okay, when the journey gets tough, keep moving forward. Russell Brunson sent this one. Now, Mark Vandrell, okay, Vandriel doesn't follow people. You can see that. And he has 24,000 followers. But Russell Brunson has double the followers, but he follows more people. Now let's see if people actually like him more. His last tweet had 6 people that liked it. But before that, he posted in the morning, had 15 people like it. Keep putting your message out there and it will be worth it in the end. Wednesday thought. Okay. 18 hours ago he posted. So wow, he's posting every 4 hours, guys. How many tweets is he? Has 11,000 tweets. He posts every 4 hours. Seems like he's pretty consistent in his tweets. 18 hours, 68, 20 hours, 194. What did he say? Remember, selling is all about learning how to sell your story in a way to increase the perceived value of the thing that you are trying to sell. If you can master that, you'll never have to work another day in your life. I'll like that. Go ahead, Russell. Well said. I will wake up every day and look to help others in my others that want what I am giving, which is to make money online in 2021. That's why I started Green Books Publishing. Had to name drop in there, you know? Marketing secrets. Ooh, yeah, spend 20 minutes publishing something daily to your existing audience and then go out there doing at least, hey, hold on, pause that for a second. I don't want to read this. This is how you're getting new people in. So this is different from something. This is different from something daily. Something's wrong. Hold on. Let's read this again.
This is how
The 2CCX challenge. Okay. Number 2. Do 100 speeches to other people's audiences. Really?
this is how you're getting new people in. So this is different than publishing
new people in. So this is different from
daily.
publishing
Right? Yes,
daily.
spend 20 minutes publishing something daily to your existing audience, and then go out there and do at least
one
presentation
at least one presentation a
day
day
to get new people into your audience so they can
into your audience so they can
see the stuff you're publishing every day.
Right, I do that. I'm supposed to we're on this live. Is this live not necessary? We need to get people on this live.
Promotion, publishing. Promotion, publishing. Okay?
Promotion,
this is how you're getting. Okay?
Okay. That's what I'm doing. I promote and then I publish every day. Promote, then I publish. Not a lot of people are coming to this podcast. Now, we have to figure out why so we can turn that all around. Okay? So that's why I actually published today. That's why I actually promoted today. Because I actually didn't think about publishing another product today. I wanted to dial in on what we published yesterday, which was Affilate Networking book. Okay? But I want to know why it hasn't sold the way I wanted to sell since yesterday. So I'm continuing to produce work. I'm continuing to produce and working towards my mission. But I can't stand on the sidelines. I have to get in the game. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, grow, and keep moving forward. I will like that, and that. Thanks, Russ. Okay. I want to talk to Russ. In fact, he's the guy. He's the #1 affiliate marketer for ClickBank, I believe. He's like #1, right? Let's see. #1. Let's see. What is this? EY of the year. EY Entrepreneur of the Year. USA best-selling author. Inc. 500, number 76, 2018. Russell Brunson. He don't look older than me. I'm 35. He looks like, what, 25, 26 years old? Success requires replacement. Replace Netflix marathons with morning workouts. Replace fake influencers with inspiring creators. Replace toxic friends with mentors. Replace complaining with gratitude. Replace soda with water. Replace overthinking with actions. Huh. What was he doing in there? If you want success, you must replace any actions that are holding you back. So what's the one thing you need to replace? What do I need to replace? Dang, guys, I never thought about that. I have to replace something. I have to figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong and replace that with something that is correct. So, let's figure out what we have to replace today. Maybe it's the way I'm doing it. Maybe I need different tools. Let's read. Targeting your competition's affiliates and joint venture partners costs absolutely nothing, yet it is one of the best ways to build your affiliate army because these people have proven that they can send qualified traffic that will convert. That's what we want. This is also how you'll be able to weed out inexperienced marketers from the super affiliates, the guys and gals who will send you a ton of sales and fresh leads. That's what we want. One of the ways to do this is with SEMrush. Okay, we're on SEMrush. Let's see how they have us do this. And use the traffic analytics tool. Let me go to the traffic analytics tool. Oh, we're on keyword overview. Let's go to the traffic analytics tool. Oh, didn't see that one there. See? Have to follow directions. All right, now we're here. Now what do we do? Read the directions. My mom always said, if all else fails, follow the directions. Okay? One of the ways to do this is with SEM Rush, traffic analytics tool. We begin by making a list of our competition. Then we run that list through SEM Rush tool. Well, wait a minute. How do I know what my competition is? Who is my competition? Make money online. Let's see. Make money online 2021. Those are the keywords that I want to target. How to show people how to make money online in 2021. Let's go. First person up is divinekinship.org. Passive income, how to make money online. Learn internet affiliate marketing, funnel building, and how to make money online. Creating a better world. Health, wealth, community highlights, free informational resources available. Excuse me. Available nonprofit organization. Now they paid to get that spot. Okay. The next person up is moneymanagement.org. Guide to earning extra income. Earning extra income on the side. If you've ever wanted to make more money, pay off debt faster, and save for vacation, then a side hustle might be for you. Learn easy ways to make extra income now. Okay. They have a 5-star rating, 4.9 star rating, 252 reviews. Wow. They got their rating up there just as a website alone. Establishing your budget, avoiding foreclosure, financial education class. And they paid for that spot. And they have their phone number up there. Seems like they're a whole business, not just a website. Okay. Next up is the firststarters.com. Earn money at home online. Access current listings. Earn an income at home working on an online job or other ways to profit online. Okay. Next. These are all ads, by the way. So this is not organic traffic. This is paid traffic. All right. And one more. Global ACN. Become a GACN reseller. Earn money online. GlobalACN.org. Start an online home-based business today. Sell marketing packages. Great online business. Okay. Now, the first one up here that is not a paid ad is Oberlo. Everybody knows what Oberlo is. That's one of the leading drop shipping apps on Shopify. Okay, and they source from AliExpress. If you didn't know, and AliExpress is the one-off version of Alibaba. You don't have to buy things in bulk to get them wholesale prices. You can get wholesale prices one at a time on AliExpress. Now, Oberlo has 28 realistic ways to make money online in 2021. You see how it just flowed right through. It's specifically the tagline "Make Money" is in here 4 times, 1 in the title, and 3 in the description. Wow, that's amazing. And I remember we talked about image search a few days ago, and we talked about how we wrap our images in words that correlate as keywords, and that's a strategy. Okay. Make money online with affiliate marketing. Now they produced this article in 2020, December 15, 2020, and it's still number 1 come February of 2021. It's February 17th. That was literally 3 months ago. 2 months ago. 60 days, they're still on top. Now, how do you beat that? You don't. You join them. So we're gonna look up Oberlo, and they may be pushing some things for you to do. Let's get in touch with Oberlo and get our stuff on our main competition. Or maybe we should just read. But what they're saying is make money online with affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is one of the most popular ways to make money online. Become an influencer. Building a personal brand can also help you make money online. Publish an ebook. with Amazon KDP. It's never been easier to publish an ebook. Consider freelancing, sell your photography. So they're basically telling you different ways to make money online. Now, there are things that I've personally done. Woven Omar Salam, Woven Work, I've personally done. I published an ebook on Amazon.com. It got picked up by Walmart. I sold my books from Amazon into hardcover paperback. Okay, I have copies of my book. I have sales in that. With Amazon KDP, it's never been easy to publish an ebook, and that is true. I've freelanced before. Okay, I'm on Fiverr right now. Sell your photography. I've sold my photography. Taking pictures of clouds and taking pictures of grass. Simple stuff like blades of grass. You go on fope.com, spelled like soap but with F. Okay, and they sell photography for $10. Okay, you get 5, they get 5. Very simple. Like, it's not complicated. All right, and those are realistic ways to make money online in 2021. Now, I want to partner with them because they're number one. Who else is number one? Let's see. When people click on, people also ask, how can I make money online in 2021? They click on that, and then something comes up. Scaleo.io blog has 18 ways to create passive income online in 2021. They published this September 17th, 2020. How are they getting ranking in 2021 if they've published something in 2020? It's almost not even fair, guys, because they're not even talking about things that are relevant in 2021. They published this in 2020. But I guess I know all about that because in 2019, I published a book called let's just say it targeted success, building a successful brand in 2020. But I published it in 2019. In fact, November 18th, 2019, I published it. And that's how it got picked up in 2020 because it already had notoriety. It already had authority because of the date it was published. It had been out for a while. It wasn't fresh. So now I understand the advantage of being ahead of the curve for getting a jump on the competition. You want to already have your stuff done before it's time to publish it. And this is why they're ranking number one, even though they didn't publish it in 2021, nowhere near. Now, what are they talking about? 18 ways to create passive income online in 2021. You have a table of contents. Number 2 is earn passive income over the internet with these 18 ways. Start making YouTube videos. I've done that. Create a website for affiliate marketing. I have not done that. Sell your photos on the internet. I've done that. We said FOP. Write an ebook. I did that. Amazon. Sell your own products. We do that at Green Books Publishing. Adopt a blog that already exists. Let's think about Oberlo. We want to adopt that blog. But wait a minute. Adopt it? How do you adopt a blog? You either own it or you affiliate with it. What does adopting mean? Let's scroll down. Things I don't understand, I will check out. So let's see where it says adopt. Adopt a blog that already exists. Let's read that. Are you able to get an existing blog for a good price? Are they talking about buying one? Then you can also earn a very nice passive income with this blog. Blogs are being created all the time, but not all of these blogs are used to their full potential. So make a smart use of this idea. You can do this with Google AdSense and affiliate marketing. Blogs with a lot of authority and monthly traffic are ideal for this. In financial terms, you should keep about 24 times the monthly income of the blog's price. What? Please, let's see the example. If the income is $300 per month, preferably consistent for several years, then you have a price of $7,200. It is, of course, better if you can manage for less. So you have to wait 7 years in order to make your money back. That's a low return on investment, guys. I don't know about that. And that's risking the fact that you are going to remain consistent. Because if you don't, that's a giant risk factor. You're hoping. That's why they said you should manage it for less. Now, pay attention to whether this is really a nice blog or whether the owner wants to get rid of it for another reason. Savvy affiliate marketers make $10,000 from their websites. So there's definitely room for making money. Start an e-shop. Now, we have an e-shop, guys. You go on, you buy. Now, I have a couple of e-shops. I have a couple of Shopifys, okay? I have some Equids, all right? But my Shopify is basically my clothing line, okay? I have a few clothing lines out there. And they said starting an e-shop is a very good idea. Where your own products are not necessarily required, starting an e-shop in a niche where your passion lies makes it more fun and profitable. You can start small, and when everything goes well, expand your range with more related products, okay? But I would also say, before you expand your range, try to get things to go well. That's why they said, when things go well, expand your range. But it also said you can start small. And we talked about finding your niche, I believe a few weeks ago. We talked about finding your niche, because finding a niche means that you're super specific on your products. You're super specific on the people who are going to buy those products. And when they type in that specific thing, you're the one that pops up. Because the difficulty, the search ranking and the difficulty of that keyword isn't all that difficult, because you are of a select few that have chosen that niche, that specific niche, okay, for that specific product. Everybody doesn't specify in that specific thing, and if they do, they don't specify. They don't specify in that specific niche in your specific area. It's a lot of specifics. So think about this. You can sell, I think we talked about TVs. You can sell TVs, but are you going to sell TVs or are you going to sell flat screen TVs? And if you're going to sell flat screen TVs, are you going to sell flat screen TVs, or are you going to make it more specific and say Amazon Alexa flat screen TVs? Now you only sell Amazon Alexa flat screen TVs for that specific those people that want that. It's a specific audience. I was trying to say audience. Okay? So now you can blog about that. All about Amazon Alexa. People just flood to you. Why? Because you have become an authority in Amazon Alexa TVs. Now when they buy from you, they're not buying from you. You didn't make it, but you blog about it. And they can come to you for the up-to-date information about it, because they can't find it. They can't find Amazon Alexa website anywhere else that has an opinion about it. Amazon Alexa is all about selling. You are about an opinion. They want to know your opinion about what they like, so that they can formulate their own opinions, and they can pit their opinion up against your opinion on what they like. And they're like, he shares my opinion. They don't care about being sold to. They care about opinions. Okay? They can go online all day to Amazon.com and look up Alexa and see all of the specifications and buy directly from Amazon and subvert all of your traffic. And, not subvert all your traffic. Subvert, get right in there and what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say they don't need you. You're a middleman. But if you make yourself valuable, you're not just a middleman anymore. You're providing a service. You're reviewing it. Every time something comes out, you buy it. Why? Because you want to be the number one reviewer of this said thing. Okay? That's why they have beta testers out there. That's why they have, people who, beta testers. They're the first person to unbox something. Why do you think these unboxing videos on YouTube go viral? It's like 100,000, 200, 300,000 views in like 2-3 days when something first came out. Why? Because they want to know before it even came out sometimes what it's gonna be like, and they're watching and they're patiently waiting. And when the day finally comes to buy it, they're on your video and they're clicking in your description and they're clicking on your link. Why? Because you're an authority on it. They're already there. They'd rather buy from you, through you, and and check this out, because you give them a discount. Ooh. You say, hey, click the link below. You get a discount on this brand new thing that I've been talking about for months, and it finally came out, and you get a discount through me. Oh, that person gets so much money. They make so many sales. And it's conceptual. It's conceptual. You can conceive any type of business that way. You can conceive any type of promotional product selling that way before it came out. Because now you're the one that has all the info about it. You know, you're the one that has it in your hands first. They want it, you got it, and you give them a discount on buying it. How can you fail? How can you fail? Now, one thing I want to point out is you don't have to be the one selling it. That's where affiliate networking comes in. You want to network with people who want to sell it. Just like I said, you can be that YouTube creator that has it beforehand. Well, guess what? You don't have to be selling that exact product. You can be selling a related product and be in their description. So you've networked with this person. They've talked about a similar product, and it's within the niche that you are promoting. But instead of clicking on that product only, they click on that product plus they click on your product. They want to buy both. Or they click on your product and they don't click on their product. However it may be. The fact of the matter is you share similar niches. When you share a similar niche, it's easier for that person to promote what you have because it's relatable. Just like when you go on a store. Let's go on my store right now. Let's go on Green Books Publishing right now. Let's click this. Okay? You're in my store. Now when you click on a product, down at the bottom of the product, there are related items. Why are there related items down there? Because in e-commerce,
how you doing, guys? Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel.
Always want to allow you to purchase more. And the only way to have you purchase more is to show you what's relatable. Okay? So right now, Success Mindset, that's one of my books. $15. But if you scroll down, after I've added this to the cart, add to the bag, boom. Continue shopping. We're back on the page.
How you doing, guys? Thank you for stopping by my YouTube.
Now, down here, you may also like, because now we're trying to make sure that if you don't like this, you might like this. Because you clicked on this is how you got here. Oh, you might like this one or this one. Oh, I want this $4 one. Oh, no. I want high-end ticket sales because I want to really make some money. And I don't want to read. I want to watch a video. I'll pay $100 for that. Click. And by the way, it's right beside the $4 item. Ain't that something? So there's a middling variant right here. $15. Not middling, actually, it's on the lower end. But if you click on it, now what do you see? You see, for the same price, something different, and it's your step-by-step guide, and it's a video series. And you get a little video telling you about what you're going to get.
To figure out what you should be doing, you need to find your sweet spot. You can do this by...
Okay? Excuse me, I'm sorry. We've been going on and on. So we have about 45, we went in for about 45 minutes. We got about 15 minutes left. Guys, I was going to show you a YouTube video on One Tree Planet, but every time we talk about One Tree Planet, and you already know that that's what we do. When you buy a book from us, we plant a tree for you in either Africa, Europe, Latin America, North America, or the Pacific. All right, and in those, and also in Asia. Okay, so you already know that we plant trees on these continents. Now, what I want you to understand is that we're not just planting trees for the sake of planting trees. We are on this earth breathing. And when we exhale, we leave a carbon footprint, so that we have to replace what we've cut down in the forest. And we didn't cut it down with our own chainsaws. There are machines out there that cut them down and manufacture, manufacture this all into paper. Okay? All of our paper products. We don't recycle as much as we think we do. Okay? So more trees are cut down every single day. We have to replace that, or we will surely perish on this earth because we can't breathe. Okay? That's where smog comes from. All of the smoke and the fog put together. Hold on. Smog. Meaning a fog made heavier and darker by smoke and chemical fumes. A photochemical haze caused by the action of solar ultraviolet radiation in atmosphere polluted with hydrocarbons. Carbons, guys. Carbons right there. And oxides of nitrogen, especially from automobile exhaust. So if you have a car running on fossil fuels, we definitely have to change our carbon footprint. So, but yeah, I'll go ahead and let y'all watch this video. So let me go on YouTube real quick. Okay, and we're going to go to One Tree Planted, because I have to go ahead and let you see this, and then I'm gonna go pray with my children. We'll leave you watching one of these. Let's see. That's odd. One Tree Planted YouTube. There we go. And videos. And sort by. Okay, let's get you one in at least 15 minutes. Yeah, let's try this one. Take care.
So my name is Salima Mahamoudou, and I work with the World Resources Institute. I lead our efforts, restoration efforts in Francophone African countries, mostly in Niger and Cameroon. And what we do at the World Resource Institute in regards to restoration is really helping countries meet their commitments under either the Bond Challenge or the FI 100. And those are commitments that each of these countries have made. We have 160-ish countries at the global level, but close to 30, I think, at the African level, who had committed to restore either 5.2 million hectares, 12 million hectares, depending on the size of the country and the need. So they've made commitments to actually restore land and bring back connectivity. So my role, along with the team, is to work with those countries, work with those communities, to understand what's the appropriate path and different ways to take to achieve that commitment.
So what kind of ecosystems are we looking at here, and what are some of the challenges that you're facing?
Mm-hmm. So we're talking now in terms geographically, we're talking about the Sahel. For those who don't know, the Sahel is located in in Africa, from, if you know, Mauritania to, for instance, Ethiopia. So it's really the big cross right under the Mediterranean countries, so Algeria, Libya, so right under it. So you have a huge amount of land that's just desert. And when I say desert, it's not just sand desert, but it's gradients. So you start with like really harsh deserts, like sand desert, and you go into different stages of aridity. And mind you, those are lands where people live, where people need to still grow food or create a living there. So we're talking about such an arid area with very little rainfall. We have, in average in this area, between 200 and 400 millimeter of rain per year. It's insane. So on top of that, on top of the aridity and the harsh weather, you also have population pressure. So population boom and fights for different access to land, but access to resources, access to water. So it's just an area that's really big in terms of size, but that's faced with different challenges: aridity, population growth, extreme weather events, but also low natural resources.
Historically, this region, there were big kingdoms there. There was like Timbuktu. Are the challenges getting worse as time goes by? And what's driving the aridity? What's driving the land degradation?
Yeah, it's amazing. This region actually hosts apparently the richest land across the world, like across many years. Like it's incredible the amount, and it was because it was like a strategic area for trade. You have the Mediterranean and Arabic countries, but you also had the coast towards the Côte d'Ivoire or Ghana, and then on the other side you had the forested area. So there was just the Sahel itself was just an area where lots of trading. But with that came settlements. People came, people migrated, and pressure came. And historically, we're seeing that if you look back, every, let's say, 10,000 years, it switches. It goes from aridity to being green. But we're seeing that slowness of switching is actually slowing down because of human interaction, because the excessive agricultural practices, because of the climate change, whether it's human-induced or naturally created. So this region itself has been strategic for many years and remains strategic now, but is faced with extreme aridity and food insecurity, unfortunately.
So one word that keeps popping up is desertification. Could you describe what desertification is and how it's affecting the Sahel?
So very simple, desertification is the advancement of the deserts, which means a land that used to be productive and healthy is slowly no longer being productive, and is slowly being arid and slowly losing its humus, slowly losing its soil, and slowly losing its water, for instance. And in all of these countries, one aspect when we talk about desertification is erosion. Lands being no longer healthy, lands no longer holding moisture, no longer holding water. So in all of these countries, when we talk about desertification, we're also talking about erosion, because we're really land focused and everything is related to that land. So unfortunately, desertification, mostly sand desertification, is happening in really the upper part of the Sahel, but you're seeing heavy erosion due to maybe water, for instance, at the lower level. So it's really the advancement of the Sahel, the advancement of the desert. So lands that were before healthy are slowly not being healthy. And you're seeing it really descending. It's amazing. And I guess amazing, but really sad to see the level of aridity that's like really crunching and eating all the healthy lands.
So why is this taking place? Because my understanding, partially, is that a desert will always sort of keep moving. It's kind of one of those forces that you can't help. It's like the tide coming in and out. So what's making this worse than before?
It no longer has a barrier, because as I agree with you, the desert will keep coming, but you need to have barriers, trees, plants. You need to have natural barriers to stop that advancement. But because of population pressure, because of resource scarcity, because of harsh weathers, so natural resources started declining. So people started cutting trees, started not letting bushes grow, transforming land into agricultural lands to create food. And that, unfortunately, is no longer a barrier, because you don't have those ecosystems to sink the water, for instance. You don't have those ecosystems to stop the advancement of the sand, for instance. So unfortunately, it was created because people there needed it. They didn't destroy their environment, just they needed to. It was a need to survive, unfortunately, but desertification is happening today because there's no longer a barrier. And that's why you're seeing these countries are actively promoting restoration. It's not just planting trees, it's bringing back that ecosystem, that barrier ecosystem, to stop the advancement of the desert.
Seems almost like a really simple solution to plant trees and it's going to stop. Is it that simple?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that trees are needed. That's for sure. And all stakeholders would say that, yes, we agree. But it's not that simple, because you really need to find the right environment to do it. For instance, in most of the Sahel countries, tree planting itself, it's not the most strategic or cost-effective method. And you'll tell me, well, trees are important, so let's just plant them. But we saw that tree planting itself, the activity of planting the tree, is not the most effective, because of the harsh weather. For instance, 45 degrees Celsius in average for like 6-7 months a year. How do you expect a little seedling to grow out of that? How do you expect the seed to to be in the same environments than livestock, for instance, because they're going to eat it out? So it's like the action of tree planting itself is not the most strategic. However, there are other techniques that relates to trees. such as assisted natural regeneration, which the point is quite simple, is letting new shrubs or little trees that are growing, let them grow, don't cut them. Because usually what people do, and that has been the case for many years, and across the Sahel you find it, whenever you have a small tree or a small shrub cutting, you just cut it. You cut it because you want more land for your crops and you want flat lands for your crops. But now, instead of planting, they notice that if that shrub comes out, you just need to trim it a little bit, protect it with some barriers from livestock, and let it grow. Let it grow, and as it goes, trim it to make sure that it really gives you a nice tree with nice shade, depending on the tree species. And they realized that that was a cheaper option for them because planting the tree comes with a cost. For instance, let's say I'm in Niger or anywhere, Mali, Burkina. If I want to plant a tree, what does it entail? It first entails finding the right seeds, finding the right improved seeds. Where would I go? There aren't a lot of areas. And even at the capital, you only have like 5, 3, 7 centers. But let's say I'm at the subnational level. Where should I go to get my seeds? Now, once I have a good seed, how do I grow it? How do I grow it to make it a seedling? That means I need to have access to water. Remember, that area is really low on water and a lot of aridity. So water management has always been an issue, and water availability has always been an issue. So how do you grow those seedlings? How do you create a nursery? Let's say you actually do that, and then you get to the point where you create that nursery. But how do you train your community? You might be trained in doing it, but how do you train other peoples? Or yourself, how do you train yourself to know? You might know a species, Acacia senegal, for instance, but if we're talking about Balanites, you don't know how to grow it. It might not take the same amount of water. So all of that, that's time, that's money, that's resources that these people don't necessarily have. And once you even get the seedling going, you have to plant them. And we're talking about an arid land. So it's not just digging just for 5 minutes and planting your tree. We're talking about areas that are now moisture. So it's like a huge crust, it's plateaus, huge crust that you need to dig. So that takes human labor, that takes money. So you have to dig actually to create a little bit of moisture, break the plateau to let your tree grow. And it happens, don't get me wrong, that actually happens, but I just wanted to show the different stages and challenges at every level that these communities face at the subnational, but also at the national level. So that alone is not a motivation. They want to plant the tree. So all I want to say is in the Sahel, trees are important. It is the #1 barrier for food security, for water management, but to stop the advancement of the desert. But tree planting is not always the solution. It does exist, but it's not always the solution. Maybe if you allow me very quickly, I wanted to share that although it's not the best solution, we have countries that have actually dedicated themselves to plant trees. In Niger, for instance, there's a National Tree Day. So on the Independence Day, on October 3rd, the country itself, it's like allocated National Tree Day, like Labor Day, for instance, in some countries. Everybody on that August 3rd, every year, everybody goes out, finds seedlings and plants them. So the notion of planting tree is there, but as we grow, as the land continues to be degraded, as resources keep scarcing, as population add, we quickly notice that it's not the most effective way to do stuff. So they're actively looking for options, restoration options that are cost effective, that are not too expensive, but that are also available for those communities. And in that case, assisted natural regeneration is really the most effective but low cost option for these regions.
It's interesting. You sort of touched on it, but is there a tradition of maintaining trees or having trees intercropping in the region, or is that some sort of barrier that you have to overcome?
So I would say it's both. On one hand, you have at the national level, most countries have some sort of tree celebration or moments, whether it's project led, because remember, these countries have had projects for many years, and you have nationally based projects just to plant trees in Cameroon, in Senegal, and Burkina. But you also have other countries who dedicated themselves to say, we want to install a national tree days where people are actively planting trees, whether or not there's external involvement. So that's at the national level. There's that political will, there's that momentum. But all of that needs to translate into actions on the ground, and it needs to translate into sustainable actions. So it's not just planting trees on that one day, it's like maintaining that trees. And that's where the problem comes, because those communities, because of resource scarcity, and because in that region of the world, most people, 90% of the people still use wood fuel to cook. So where do you find that wood fuel? You have to cut trees, whether you're at the national level or at the subnational level. So we have the political will, we have the people kind of understanding that trees are important, but you still need to cook. You still need to go cut the trees. So that's why now activities are, or partners, whether they're government, private sector, or even at the community level, they're actively asking people to plant trees on their land so that they have options to not go cut other people's trees. You know what I mean? So to go back to your answer, yes, there's that political will. Yes, there's that national engagement to plant trees. But you need to change the mentality. And for that, you need to give them means to survive. Because if they don't have means, if they don't have ways to cook, they'll still go cut. That's unfortunately the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to change the circumstances. There are circumstances as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we covered in quite good detail like how trees can help stop desertification. You mentioned that it can help improve food security. Yeah. How do trees help improve food security on these degraded lands?
Yeah. So trees help prevent or improve food security by providing alternative means. Let's say you have a land. Usually, your all your means and all your food is coming from that half a hectare that you're for cassava leaves or cassava, for instance. But now, if you're starting to plant tree on that land or surrounding that land, you're planting Acacia Senegal, for instance, who gives you gum arabic. And we know that gum arabic, we use it in everything. So now you not only have your cassavas, but now you also have gum arabic every 3-4 years that you can sell. You now have the leaves that now you can feed to your livestock. If you have excess, you actually can go sell it at the markets. And now you're seeing that people are actually planting trees that are dedicated to be cut. What does it mean? Those are trees for wood fuel. So that is kind of afforestation, where we're no longer going and cutting forest trees. Those are primary forest or secondary forest or forests that are important. But now we're planting trees around our fields. We're planting trees around our villages dedicated just for wood fuel. So those are just a sustainable source to prevent degradation, to prevent illegal cutting, but to also manage the wood availability. And now you're seeing wood markets being created around villages, where now the villages are creating, when they plant those trees, whether on their land or surrounding their villages, they have enough for themselves, but they even have excess that they can actually go sell. And that's income that can help them nourish themselves, that can help them put their children into school. So trees are alternative means and additional resources for these communities, because it can give them fruits to sell, it can give them non-forested products to sell, it can give them leaves to feed their livestock, but it can also moisture their land, which means they no longer have to go buy organic matter to bring on their land, you see? So it's like a whole cycle, but for it to happen, it cannot be just 1 or 2 farmers. It needs to be a movement of people, because it's a value chain. If you look at it, everybody has its role. It's kind of a puzzle, but for it to actually happen, you need people. You need that value chain to be connected. And I think that's the biggest challenge for that region.
How do you get it from
a
few farmers scattered across the landscape to be in a region-wide movement?
So it takes a lot of communication, a lot of efforts communicating and understanding, studying it, for instance, first of all, understanding the dynamics, understanding what's making them change. It's not just providing them the tools and say, just go do it. It's really understanding their behavior. And once you do that, it's heavily, you need to invest on communication. You need to invest in allowing those same farmers to tell their stories. It does not work when it comes from experts, for the government, from somewhere external. A farmer A who restored their land. We have successes. For instance, we have this amazing farmer, our champion, as we call him, Ali Nino, who restored his land, started buying new degraded lands to plant them. But now that he mastered it himself, he started training his other farmers in the villages. And now that they mastered it, they created a coalition where they are contracted by other villages to come train them.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. And this, yes, of course, partners are helping them, but it's amazing to see a community reviving just because of a tree, but actually helping other. Now it's like a circle, and it just grew. You have countries like Niger who restored 5 million hectares completely under the radar of the government. Completely, because farmer, hey, A, B, C has been helped. They understand, and then they started rolling, and it created kind of like a spreaded disease, but a good one. You see? So it's amazing. Yeah. It's really amazing to see the power of a tree in that region, because it's life or death for them. They have to live out of it. And truly, it's amazing. Like when you speak with people, when you try to understand their story, and you're like, wow, like we need to get you on board. We need those trees to grow. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of stakeholders. And I think this is where we are, WRI, but other partners, where we're like, okay, now we can no longer do it alone. We can no longer do it bilaterally with the governments. We need different stakeholders. And now we're creating those platforms at the subnational, at the national level to really bring the different stakeholders and say, this is not just an environmental problem. It's an economical problem. It's a social problem. It matters to the Ministry of Planning. We need all of these stakeholders on board to really find a durable solution for these communities.
So what are the consequences if we don't encourage the farmers and encourage the landowners to allow trees to grow on their land and to restore the soil, the quality of the soil?
Disaster. One, trees are disappearing, which means the desert is advancing, erosion is growing, water management is degrading. Two, people are fleeing because they can no longer stay at the community. This is why we're seeing so much migration, not only at the national level, but people moving, trying to access Europe because their land can no longer sustain them. Three, food insecurity. Because these people, for those that can leave, the young ones, they leave. But the ones that cannot leave, they just stay there and die. Famine, terrorism, now because now they're being vulnerable. So terrorist group and how do you say it? And like military groups are now their targets for these people because they're vulnerable.
That was something I actually wanted to bring up. How much of this process of desertification and land degradation, how much can the rise of organizations like Boko Haram be attributed to this food insecurity and this desperation?
Oh, there's a lot of studies showing it. Lots of studies showing that the more an area is vulnerable, unstable, the more appealing they are for these terrorist groups. Because it's easy for them to go with just a small envelope and say, I'll give you this if you join my league. And people would do it because they need food, they need to survive, and they don't have the means. And now the countries have understood it. So that's why a lot of the work that's being done in this country, especially around anti-terrorism, they're really focusing on restoring land, focusing on bringing back productivity, focusing on putting back children to school. It's amazing. For instance, in Niger and Mali, I was looking at it, 80% of the development project in both of these countries have a land component. 80%. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. It really shows you that if you cannot get the land right, you're not going to get the education right. You're not going to get terrorism right. You're not going to get food management right. Like you need, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's the silver bullets. I don't think one exists, but we are sure, and now you can talk to many stakeholders, they'll tell you that we need to restore those lands. And that's why countries are taking commitments to say, I want to restore lands. I want to restore 5 million. I want to restore 3 million. They're realizing that it's needed and countries are supporting it. And even at the global level, you're seeing that big agencies, the green climate funds, those ones are also taking restoration as a priority because we're now seeing that it's really important. And it's cross-sectoral. It's not just environment. It really spans across different sectors and priorities.
So what's interesting about this is that these are immediate problems, but the solution of land regeneration takes quite a bit of time. Mm-hmm. So what are the sort of immediate benefits that someone might be able to see when they plant the tree or when they start regenerating land nearby? And how can you sort of convince them that this is a good idea as opposed to just picking up their home and moving somewhere where they might have a better chance of getting a better crop yield?
Yeah. So economics, now a lot of socio-economic benefits analysis are being created around restoration. For instance, in Cameroon, but also in Niger, there were 2 studies done by EDL, Economics of Land Degradation. It's an agency, a European agency, that were showing that if you do assisted natural regeneration or you let a tree grow on your land, on your agricultural lands, that you can have, within a 3-year span, you can have 3 times more how do you say it? So recolt, my French is kicking in. More yields.
Harvest, yeah.
Yes, more harvest than what you used to do. 3 times. It's incredible. That alone, and it shows you that year 1, year 2 might still be the same thing that you do, so no losses. But year 3, 3 times. Year 4, maybe 2, 3 times. You see what I mean? So now they're actually associating economic benefits to restoring land. It's no longer, water management, ecosystem services that you cannot really put money on it, but now you're actually seeing, I can actually have more money. Or just trees. For instance, there are trees now that can grow within a year that you can use for wood fuel, for instance. So farmer A, if you plant this tree, it might cost you $30 today, but within a year, you will no longer use every day $10 to go buy wood fuel. You see, so there's a lot of economic studies around it to really prove that there are economic benefits and returns to planting trees or growing trees, restoration, but also social benefits. And that is also important. Don't forget that we're in a region that's heavily entrenched in tradition and socially. If you tell a man, for instance, in that region, a 25, 30-year-old man, your degraded land, your half a hectare that's degraded, if you start restoring and investing in it, tomorrow you're going to have lots of yields, lots of food. That's a motivation for him because that means he can get married. You see, it's like those little things that you don't necessarily think about, but it's like, well, how do I get married? How do I have a social life if I don't have a means to provide to the person I'm bringing into my life? You see, so it's not just environmental benefits. I think the motivation actually for those people, it's not the environment, to be honest. It's really showing them what can they get economically in terms of yield, in terms of wood fuel, in terms of food for their lifestyle, but also what can they get in terms of the community. And that is more important than actually the environmental benefits.
Yeah, so it's a big benefit to have these traditions also tied to the land, I suppose.
Yes, oh yes. And for the longest time, you had initiative that actually completely looked out of it. Now, when I go on the ground, my first stop is really the chief of the village or the religious lead, or those are the people that hold the tradition. And if you get their buy-in, you indirectly start having access to people to start telling them their story. If you go there with your big, scientific knowledge, it does not work. You really need to understand them, understand their needs, and reply to that.
Is there any use of the traditional regional knowledge and agricultural techniques in what's being done at the moment?
Yeah, we shouldn't forget the indigenous knowledge, because these communities have been farming their lands for decades, so they know something. We shouldn't go in there and thinking they don't. So they know something, but it's understanding what do they know and how is it the most strategic in situation A, how is it not necessarily in situation B, and how can we take advantage of it in situation C. You see? So it's like really understanding it and positioning the chiefs, because we're talking about a region that's heavily lots of religion, but lots of tradition. So it's capitalizing this position of a chief, whether religious or traditional chief, because he is the leader. People listen to him. So if you capitalize him, talk to him, say, hey, I see that you guys have been farming this way, and this is amazing. But if you slightly switch like this, it's gonna work. Let me work on your land, and let's see how it works. If it works on his land, he's now going to be open to sharing it with his congregation, with his village, with his people, and that is incredibly, like, it's a lot easier than investing in campaigns, like communication campaigns. Sometimes it's just spending time with this community, sitting with them, understanding them. And sometimes it's like taking and leaving all your knowledge and just go there to just observe, help them understand, and help them understand why are they doing it. Maybe there's a reason behind. Very quickly, there was a story that I read, was amazing. Sustainable cook fuels. Sorry, I'll talk. Sustainable cook fuels. Everybody says it's important, right? There was a community where they did it, and the women did not like it. And they're like, well, it's cheaper, it's faster, it's less air pollution. The reason why they didn't like it is they mostly used it for bread, to cook their bread. But the women actually liked the extra crust that the bread would create when they're cooking it with wood fuel. But when you're giving them those sustainable stove, it's like perfectly cooked, there's no crust, and they don't like it. See, it's mind-blowing. And so understanding that, and then we're like, well, you see, so now you understand their motivation, and you can cater to that. You can start. So sometimes it's not just the technology or the perfect solution. It's really understanding why does it matter to this community, and how can we create together a better future for them.
I love your passion for this.
I love it. Join me on the ground. Please come with me.
Infectious. Your enthusiasm is absolutely infectious.
So you've mentioned one or two success stories. What kind of processes have you seen that have been successful in your time doing this?
Over the years, I think involving local communities is really important. And when I say involving, it's not just bringing them on the table and let them be. It's like actively involving them into the process development, process implementation, and really taking advantage of their knowledge, taking advantage of their position and everything. But it's also stakeholder engagements, bringing other people on the ground. Don't forget the power dynamic. I come as I don't want necessarily to bring my other partner, or I only work with the Ministry of Forestry. I don't want to bring in the Ministry of Agriculture. It's actually going beyond all of that and bringing different partners on the same ground and letting biases behind and say, how do we make this happen? So that cross-sectoral, that platform for partners to collaborate is key, because that's going to create the sustainability. Another aspect at the local level that seems to also be working is, in French, it's called comité de gestion locale, so local management committees. And those are, so when you come as a project, let's say I'm one tree planted, we're going to plant a tree, planting trees, 10, 12 hectares in the community. So once I'm done, or during the process, is creating within the community that I'm supporting a management system, a management unit with community members. They will be the one monitoring the sites. They will be the one understanding and tracking progress. So once one tree planting or WI leaves, there's still that management unit who learned with the project, but who's now member of the team and can now take on and start teaching. So having that management unit, now projects are growing and doing it, but it was key. It really was key, because it created ownership from the community, but it also created a transfer of knowledge that was durable over time, and that management unit was really important. Another aspect, and last aspect, or two last ones, sorry. The other one is monitoring, understanding where are those trees and how do we, because it's not just let's go plant and it's also coming back and see, did it actually work? What's the survival rate? Where did we invest the most, and has it worked? So we need, those countries or projects need a strong monitoring system to really understand the progress, measure the changes and trends, and really capitalizing it, and sustainable finances. One challenge, and very recurring challenge, is income being given to these communities or money coming through different channels. But then once the project stops, that's it. So during the project, you need to find an exit strategy, which means finding sustainable ways to finance the activities, maybe not at the level that you're currently doing, but a sustainable way to exit slowly from this community, so that you're not creating like a break, you see? And that is really important. I don't think we intentionally, development agencies or partners intentionally do it. We're like, yeah, actively helping. And then once we're done, we're like, okay, well, my project will renew in a year, we'll be back. But that community, well, for a year, what are they going to do, you know? So it's like finding sustainable ways, sustainable financial ways for them to still remain active and productive and sustainable and feeding their family after the project.
Yeah, so it's setting up sustainable economic solutions rather than just charity.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is like, I guess the environmental sustainable development has learned so much from the development communities of old, where all those failures were so evident. But it's interesting to see that the environmental aspect of these programs has caught on to that so quickly. We need that community engagement, and we need to have those exit strategies, which was such a big failure for aid and development for so long.
That's so true. That's so true. A development project, honestly, if you're there past 2 years, you're no longer aid. Like you're creating dependence, because now people are just depending on you. So it's challenging, and I don't think there's a silver bullet for it. There's a movement, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, 1,000 Landscape at the global level, where now they realize that there's just so much methodology and tools. There exists so much. Every agency partner created their own thing. But what do we really know? What actually works? So they created this movement, 1,000 Landscape, where people, technical leaders, and landscape developers are meant to just share their experiences, share ideas, what worked in this situation, what didn't, a platform for project developer and landscape developer to just share their ideas and best practices. And I think that alone would actually bring a lot of success, because you might have done a lot of things that I'm actually testing now that you know might not work, but we're not communicating. We might be neighbors, but we're not communicating. And this, unfortunately, is so instilled in the vision of development or aid. It's like, we do our own thing and let's get the donor satisfied. But we need to remember that there are people behind this. There are people relying on us, people putting their life resources in our hands to help them. So I do think that staying away from the technicality and really bringing back the human aspect of restoration is really key to regreening our lands, bringing back productivity, and bringing back smiles. When you see people smiling because their lands are like green and showing you which species came back, it's like, that alone is priceless, honestly.
So what's the kind of best case scenario future for the Sahel region? What does it look like in 50 years?
To me, in 15 years, 50 or 15? 1 5 or 5 0?
50.
50.
Let's say 2050.
I'm seeing a lot of movement of regreening, of restoration led by the communities themselves. We've always seen Great Green Wall, all these big initiatives, not necessarily led by farmers. 2050, farmers are going to be in the driver's seat and saying, this is how land should be restored. This is how we're going to do. And that is what's going to change things, because only them can take advantage of those opportunities and get up and say, let's do this, because they're the one actually cultivating those lands. They're the land putting all their efforts in those lands. So in 2050, my dream and my ideal would be farmers sitting at the driver's seat and leading all of the technical, financial, governments, leading them and saying, this is the vision that we want.
Amazing. Anything else you want to add, or Joe, any more questions?
No, I think that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Will?
Please join me on the ground when you guys have the chance. Please,
for sure.
Please come with me.
Anytime.
Nothing for me. I think that was great. I mean, Slim, you hit everything, and the stories you told were great. And, you know, as everyone was saying, like, you're just infectious when you talk about this. The passion is so clear, and it's passion, but it's backed up by very deep technical knowledge. And also, you know these people very well personally, and it shows. It just shows.
Thank you.
Yeah. This was a pleasure.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à vous.
Merci.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
so much.
Bye.
Bye, Ben. Bye,
Bye.
Joe. Bye-bye.
This area burned in 2017. There was a couple of lightning strikes that hit north of here, and it blew up into a fairly large fire quite quickly, a lot of rank 5, rank 6 fire. A rank 5 fire is a heavy crown fire where the crowns are completely burning. The crown is the top of the tree that has all the needles in it. And a rank 6 fire is where the fire is so intense that it starts to create its own weather systems.
It's Thursday that we're really watching again. Today, though, extensive smoke, mostly sunny. Otherwise, if you're away from the smoke, highs in the low 20s. Prince Rupert's
My name is Russell Myers-Ross. I'm the Chief of UNSCT Government. You know, one of the things in taking on the responsibilities as Chief is taking care of the land. And you know, it's one of my first priorities when I first got in as Chief, and just the concern that people had in the community about the state of the forests and land management that just didn't reflect what our values were. The 2017 wildfires had a huge impact on our community. Sort of the trauma of just being relocated, and it was super stressful. It was hard. We were able to get all the most vulnerable people out, and then we were trying to focus just on the fire crews and making sure that they could do the best job that they could. They moved up and fought that fire till it was gone, but they were looking at 200-foot flames flat up right against houses. For us, it was larger than we could ever imagine. I think for the community, I think they look around and they see patchworks of everything from places that almost feel like desert when you walk through them, where there's no living insects or birds like they used to be. And we want to see, the berries grow back and our medicines grow back and the animals return. I guess the big concern, for elders are that they grew up in the areas and now they don't recognize them anymore.
2010, when we had some very large fires, they were nothing like 2017. They were small compared to 2017. I mean, 30,000 hectares, 40,000 hectares, that starts to really seem like not much of a fire when you have a 230,000 hectare fire, or the Plateau fire just north of here was 550,000 hectares.
And a large chunk of this fire will come back naturally, but there is up to 30% that will not come back because they either have fur species or been burnt so hot there's no seed. And that's one of the jobs we do, is to determine which areas are coming back naturally and which areas are not coming back. And so we're investing our money and our tree planting efforts into those areas that are not coming back.
We've been pretty receptive and open to like all partnerships. You know, it's just been a blessing to work with people that are like all motivated to be helping and, you know, try to, you know, benefit the community as much as they can.
We have a collaboration between industry, First Nations, NGOs, intergovernment agencies. There's a whole host of organizations that are working with us on the initiative. We have an agreement with One Tree Planted and the Forest Enhancement Society, our primary funder, that every tree that One Tree Planted is planting, they will be matched by our major funder, FES.
The Forest Carbon Initiative is the foundation of this whole project, and without the funding that they have sourced through the provincial and federal governments, there wouldn't be even a start to this program. We're certainly grateful to the Inessa team for partnering with us and us being able to partner with them on this project. That's been huge. This project wouldn't have gotten off the ground without that partnership. We've been able to partner with One Tree Planted, which is really amazing. They have really stepped up over the last couple of years to where they're quite a significant player out here in adding to the program that we have.
One Tree Planted has committed for next year, for spring of 2020, to plant 1 million trees. And this will sequester over 50,000 tons of carbon by the year 2050.
For us, I think, you know, I look at the fire as a sort of a source of renewal. You know, anytime you put fire to something, something grows in its place. And, you know, for us, I think like One Tree Planted, for example, is like, you know, just sort of leading the way for us in trying to, you know, help us and sort of repair what's been lost for us. So, you know, it's just been a blessing to work with any group that's been willing to put their heart there and, you know, lend an extra hand for us to sort of, you know, repair our land and really help our community.
To our field reporter Tim, who's covering reports of an asteroid set to hit the area sometime today.
Interesting. Vistaprint, your partner in an ever-changing world.
I think tree planting matters, reforestation matters, ecological restoration matters. I don't know that I would do it if I thought it was a bunch of crap.
In the highest levels of the heavens, we make some exceptions. In the times of love and war, when I saw her out walking with the lion, first daughter of Zion.
Our forests have been really degraded, and I really felt like it was an opportunity to actively make change in some of the environmental problems I saw around me. I want to put my energy towards healing and restoring or working on fixing things rather than creating more.
All my clean work clothes.
The site we were working at is Willamette Mission State Park. The Willamette Valley is super interesting. It's this huge valley carved out by the Willamette River between the Cascade Mountains and the Coast Mountains. Originally, it was all used as farmland. Every day, each person on our crew is expected to plant 1,000 to 1,200 plants a day, and our planting season lasts 3 months, and we work 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, 8-hour days. I would guess on my first day, I probably planted maybe 500 plants, probably like half of what I plant now. Less than half, probably. We were replanting a section of the forest that was really overgrown with invasive species, clematis and blackberry. And so we removed all of those, and then we're replanting the understory with native shrubs and trees to try to rebuild the forest there. Switching to rose.
Rose, okay.
When we're planting, we pay attention to how much sun a location gets, the hydrology, whether there's a lot of water or it's very dry, the soil type, if it's really rocky or very clay. And we'll select different trees and shrubs for that location. So we try to change as we're planting along to match what we think will grow best there. Try to give it the best leg up we can.
Once it opens up.
A lot of work goes into it. In fact, planting is such a small part of the whole plan of trying to restore a forest. For me, at least, it goes further than just the fact that I enjoy being outside, because I recognize what I enjoy about being outside, and that's the plants and the trees that I see and I appreciate, and the birds and the wildlife that use those areas too, that call it home. And so I want those parts of the ecosystem to stick around, I guess maybe so I can enjoy them, but also for their own benefit to just exist. Definitely think it's important that we try to make improvements where we can, make changes where we can, try to restore areas that have been degraded because of human actions and human use of the land, even if we can't see the results, because we probably won't, because we just don't live that long. We create things with the hope that they'll do good or become something good. Don't we all do that?
And free down about your damn free down. Hit free here, free wire down, get free down, get free down, down, make that free. Hit free here and free down, down, free, make that free.
That's right. TurboTax Free Edition is free. Free.
You can cry, to be honest. When you're really at your limit, you can cry and just like...
A lot of people drop out at the beginning. It's really really hard, but if you're really prepared and you like to push yourself, it's the job for you.
I think personally, planting is maybe 30% physical, but it's 70% psychologically.
In tree planting, the thing that is really important is to be really organized. And a little tiny thing that you forget can make you lose a lot of money. I wake up at 4:20 habitually. I go to the kitchen, breakfast, you do your lunch, you take your water, you fill it, and after you go to your room and you prepare all your stuff.
After we're taking the truck, and it might take 30-45 minutes. So 6:30 is 7 o'clock. You're on your land and you're planting. When 3 o'clock happens, you're just so happy. Yes, I did it. I don't know how, but I did it.
I really like to finish my day and say, oh shit, it was really a good day, and this is really like satisfying.
The two reasons that I'm coming back planting is the endorphin that is giving to you, and the other one for sure, it's some money. Woo!
Lower back stiffness and discomfort is prevalent amongst tree planters. Following analysis of tree planters' back injuries and observing tree planters in the field, we have identified three main types of lower back issues and the main reasons why these occur. The first and most commonly experienced is generalized lower back stiffness and discomfort, which may refer into the leg. This is associated with repetitive bending. The second we have called tree-sided lower back pain, associated with how plugs are being retrieved from the bag, and the third is what we term shovel-sided lower back pain.
There are two important terms to understand when discussing lower back mechanics: flexion and extension. Flexion is associated with a forward bend or rounding of the lower back. This happens frequently throughout a planter's day: sitting for breakfast, driving to the block, bending the bag up, and bending to plant trees. Extension is a backwards movement seen when arching the spine. This can be done in standing, sitting, or lying, but doesn't occur naturally as part of a planter's day.
Discs are the body's shock absorbers. They are made up of a fibrous outer part called the annulus, which holds in place the jelly center called the nucleus. When flexing the spine, the front of the disc is compressed, pushing the nucleus backwards. Extension helps to balance this pressure by pushing the nucleus forwards. You can think of it like a disc pressure bank account. When you bend or flex, you are making withdrawal, and when you do an extension exercise, you are making a deposit.
The problem with tree planting is that you are always bending. Here is a quick summary of a tree planter's day. Wake up stiff, bend to get dressed, and sit for breakfast, all flexion. You drive to the block, sometimes asleep and always slouched. You get out and you begin to bag up. You put on bags and start bending to plant. Flexion, flexion, flexion. Then you sit to drive back to camp, eat, sleep, and repeat.
When looking to prevent lower back issues, this is what a planter's day should look like. Wake up, roll over, and extend. Begin putting deposits into your disc pressure back account. When sitting for breakfast and when driving on the way to the block, try to maintain a lower back arch. This can be done by slouch overcorrect exercises or by placing a pillow or folded sweater into the small of your back. Following any periods of sitting, extensions and standing will help to neutralize disc pressure. Break up bending with frequent extensions. This can be done at the cache when bagging up. Extend, extend, extend. Following driving home, extend. After dinner, extend. Before bed, extend. Eat, extend. Sleep, extend. Plant, extend. Repeat.
Now let's look at some key planting tasks and what is bad and what is good. Bagging up. Did you know the weakest part of the disc is at the back corner? This is why we are told not to bend and twist together. Bad. When handling boxes and bagging up, if you bend from the waist with straight legs and twist, you are increasing the risk of disc injury. Good. Did you know a 30% contraction of the abdominal muscles is enough to stabilize the spine and unload the discs, helping to prevent injury? Actively pull in your lower abdominals and contract your pelvic floor as if you are stopping a pee midstream. When bagging up, load trees in a half kneeling or crouch position. Try to maintain an arched lower back when bending forward, keeping abdominal muscles 30% contracted. Use your feet to adjust body position to minimize twisting.
Did you know that the average tree bag up is between 45 and 50 pounds and can weigh as much as 65 pounds depending on the moisture content and tree type? Bad. Hoisting bags onto your hips with your legs straight in a bent over position increases disc load. Swinging the bags on using the shoulder straps causes a twisting force and uneven disc loading. Good. Power lifters lift the way they do for a reason. Step into the bags and use a wide stable base. Check your footing. Contract your abdominal muscles. Power with your legs and place the bags onto your hips with your chest out and your back in an arched position. Here is a visual of good and bad techniques.
There are 101 ways to plant a tree. We are not planters and are not going to tell you how to plant a tree. But if you are experiencing back discomfort, here are some possible reasons why. Bad. Planting with straight legs and bending excessively with the spine causes an increase in disc pressure, leading to discomfort and possible injury. Planting downhill causes excessive flexion, which also increases load on the disc. It is better to unlock the knees and bend from the hips, with the abdominals contracted 30%. Don't forget to breathe. Avoid planting downhill by analysing your ground and planning your route.
Another problematic technique is when planters plant outside of what we have termed the neutral zone. The neutral zone is the space in front of your feet when standing in a step standing position. Reaching outside of this zone loads the disc in its weakest part. Working within the neutral zone, using the lunge or tripod stance with a 30% contraction of the abdominal muscles is optimal. It is seen here in the good and bad.
Regardless of how you plant, extensions are an important preventative strategy to neutralize disc pressure and prevent injury. Planters should aim to do a minimum of 10 repetitions at every bag up.
Tape is an effective tool to give a planter feedback to maintain a neutral back position when planting. Tape may cause skin irritation. In these cases, an under tape can be used. Tape can be worn for up to 4 days at a time before the skin needs a break.
Red flags. Consult a healthcare professional if you experience any of the following. Continued increase in pain, numbness, tingling, or pins and needles with extension exercises. Issues with bladder or bowel dysfunction, or lower limb weakness.
When stiffness, pain, or discomfort is not helped by the extension exercises, a planter may be experiencing what we call tree-sided lower back pain. Tree-sided lower back pain occurs secondary to repetitively loading the spine on the tree side. Overbagging up on the tree side is the most common causative factor. We call this the mothership. Reaching for a tree by pushing the hips to the shovel side using a hip sway causes this compression. Planting outside the neutral zone on the tree side further contributes to this compression. Good. Bag up evenly and transfer trees regularly to maintain balance. Try to stay neutral when reaching for trees, avoiding hip sway. Plant inside the neutral zone and maintain a 30% contraction of the abdominal muscles.
The third lower back issue is what we call shovel side low back pain. This is associated with an overload of the support structures between the pelvis and the spine. Discomfort is experienced on the shovel side at the top of the buttock. The spine and pelvis are stabilized by a crossover system of muscles between the hip and opposite shoulder. These are the gluteal and opposite latissimus muscles. There are a couple of common technique issues that compromise this stabilizing system. Bad. Allowing the shovel-sided knee to roll inwards means the stabilizing gluteal muscle is not firing. Load is then transferred to the support structures between the pelvis and the spine. This can be seen when bending to plant, walking downhill, or stepping down off blowdown. If bags are either overloaded or placed forward on the hips, this can increase the knee internal rotation. Good. Actively turning out the knee fires the gluteal muscles, which stabilizes the support structures. This turned out knee position should be reinforced when bending to plant trees, when walking down hills, or stepping off blowdown. Keeping the bags further back on the hips makes this easier. When on the block, think cowboy.
Overreaching on the tree side by either planting outside of the neutral zone or by over-twisting through the upper back and shoulder when planting trees causes the latissimus muscle to work in a lengthened, inefficient way. Load is then transferred to the support structures on the shovel side of the lower back. Good. Planting inside the neutral zone, bending from the hips and setting the shoulder blade back fires the latissimus muscle, which with the gluteal muscle stabilizes the spine.
It's a bit shallow. Don't J-root on that stump. That was a leaner over there.
In this section, we're going to talk about planting equipment. You'll need planting bags to carry your seedlings comfortably and efficiently. You'll need a shovel to plant the trees. On some contracts, you may need Silvacool inserts to protect the trees on hot days. And finally, you'll need a plot cord to measure your own density to help keep your efforts on track. Your planting bags are your personal gear. You'll use them every day until they start to rot and fall apart, although the smart planters buy newer bags before that point to maximize comfort. It still amazes me that some people will try to save $70 by using a tattered old set of bags that's held together with rope and duct tape with no padding remaining, instead of just buying a comfortable new set with good padding. You're going to be wearing your bags for probably 600 or 700 hours in a season. That's about 10 cents an hour for your bags if you use them for a single season, or 5 cents an hour if you use them for 2 seasons. To me, it makes sense to spend a few pennies per hour to be more comfortable. Planting bags usually have 3 pouches fastened to a waist strap. The waist strap should have a piece of padding on it to cushion the weight as it's resting on your hips. There's a plastic buckle on the front of the bags to strap yourself in and to prevent the bags from shifting and sliding around. They also have a set of shoulder straps to help redistribute some of the weight and take it off your hips. It's also possible to buy a set of bags with 4 pouches instead of just 3. These are usually called 4-baggers instead of 3-baggers. There are advantages and disadvantages to getting 4-baggers. They distribute the weight around your waist somewhat more evenly, so they're slightly more comfortable. The extra pouch sometimes makes it easier to carry extra gear with you, such as raincoats or extra trees. However, they also weigh a tiny bit more than 3-baggers. Not much more, but every ounce counts when you're strapping on a full load of trees. 4-baggers are more expensive, probably by an extra $30 or so. 4-baggers used to be virtually unknown in the interior for many years, although a very large percentage of coastal planters have always used them because they're especially handy when planting multiple species. In the past couple of years, more interior planters have discovered that they can be pretty convenient. Make sure that all the buckles are adjusted properly when you get your bags. Many first-year planters assume that they're set up properly by the manufacturer. However, everybody's body is different. The waist strap can obviously be adjusted in size. Also, there are 4 straps attached to the shoulder straps, 2 on the front and 2 on the back, which you should play with. Make sure everything fits fairly snugly with no loose and floppy straps. Make sure the left and right straps are even on both the front and the back. If you have problems with your waist buckle popping open when you bend over, which may start to happen more frequently after you've had the bags for quite a while, you can go to a junkyard and buy an old seatbelt buckle to replace the plastic waist buckle. It's important right now to talk about your back. You'll get a sore back from planting trees. It's inevitable. Your back muscles are just like any other muscles, and they need a workout to become stronger. After a week or 2, once the muscles get a lot stronger, it won't hurt so much. One of the problems for your back is bending over. You'll be bending over at least 1,000 times a day at the start, and several thousand times per day once you get faster. That's a lot of bending for your back. But that's okay, your back is designed for that. However, your bags can cause a problem. If your shoulder straps are adjusted properly and they fit snugly on your body when you stand up, they can put extra strain on your back when you bend over. Also, as you're walking around, if there's a lot of weight on your shoulder straps, this weight will act unevenly on your spine as you move. That makes your lower back sore. There's a solution. You can really tighten up your waist belt and put a lot more weight onto your hips. Loosen your shoulder straps a bit, and it takes some of the pressure off of your upper body. The drawback with doing this is that your upper legs have to work a lot harder. Your legs will become more sore instead of your back. It's basically a balancing act. You can put all the pressure on your hips and legs if you want by not wearing shoulder straps at all. You can put a lot of pressure on your upper body, which gives a bit of relief to your upper legs. Or you can do a mix of both, so neither part of your body is taking all of the workload. Obviously, no matter what, your legs still have to carry all the weight, regardless of how you have things set up. It just feels heavier on your legs if you have no weight on your shoulder straps. If you're getting a sore lower back when you start planting, don't worry, that's normal. But if it's really bothering you, get rid of the shoulder straps right away and see if your back starts to feel better after a couple days. Incidentally, in many cases, the best remedy for a sore back is exercise, as long as the soreness is caused solely by tight muscles that are getting a new workout. Females have different body shapes than males. For females, the breasts usually get in the way of the shoulder straps a bit more. There's an upper cross strap on your bags that goes across your chest. Most females leave this very loose or don't use it to keep their shoulder straps from rubbing against their chest so much. Also, many females have stronger upper legs than guys because of their childbearing hips. A much higher percentage of females will avoid using shoulder straps altogether compared to males. Do whatever's most comfortable for you. As you bend over with a load of trees, there isn't usually a lot of strain on your back from the weight in your side bags. However, any weight in your back bag on a 3-bagger needs to be lifted more when you bend over. For this reason, you should really try to avoid putting much weight into your back bag if you're having back issues. 4-baggers are a little bit better on the back because the 2 back bags are offset instead of putting all the weight directly into the center of your back. Shovels come in a variety of styles, lengths, and weights. When it comes to choosing a shovel, you essentially have 2 choices, what's called a D-handle or what's called a staff handle. A staff handle is essentially a straight handle. This used to be a common shovel in Ontario, although planters in Ontario have mainly switched to using D-handle shovels.
All right, guys, thanks
a
for
staff
watching.
shovel is taller and therefore heavier than a D.